Salud YouTube. Welcome to the channel with your boy, the Stock Wizard. In today's episode, we're going to get into beginner investors, reasons why you're getting into the market, and then we're going to have a spotlight on Hut 8 mining, ticker symbol HUT, and we're going to compare it to Marathon Digital Holdings, ticker symbol MARA. So, first for you beginning investors out there, the first thing you want to determine is why you're getting into the market, all right? Which is going to directly correlate to the time frame of what you have for when you want to make these profits, okay? So you want to ask yourself first and foremost, are you an investor? An investor is going to be somebody that buys a stock because they have conviction in the company, the conviction in the growth in their field, and they have confidence over time, meaning years, 1 year minimum to plus, that the company is going to grow, therefore their money is going to grow. All right, so they don't really worry about the day to day, week to week, month to month volatility. Or you're a trader. Do you want to buy a stock on one day, hold it for 1 day to 3 weeks? And then hope that you profit and then take that money, put it in your pocket and run. All right. So that's what a trader is. Or you're a gambler. You just want to be somebody that throws your money on something because you read it someplace, cross your fingers, roll the dice, and hope that you win, or you're not concerned about losing. That's more so of a gambler. All right. You also have to ask yourself how adverse you are to risk. Now, believe me, the market is a roller coaster. All right. So it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. So you have to want to try and take out as much emotion as you can. And it all goes back to, are you an investor, a trader, or a gambler? If you're a trader, you're going to worry about the day-to-day fluctuations. If you're an investor and you're holding on to it for years, you don't care about that. If you're a gambler, you want your money immediately and you kind of have really no idea exactly if you win or lose for the most part, but that's what a gambler is. They don't really know. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at Hut 8 mining, which is our spotlight. Ticker symbol HUT. All right. So what Hut 8 does is Hut 8 is a miner of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. Now, in order to understand that, you have to first understand what Bitcoin runs on, which is a blockchain. Okay. Now, this blockchain is a series of transactions in each block that's going to indicate what the Bitcoin was bought and sold for. Okay. So now all these companies like Hut 8, like Marathon Digital, like Riot, they're all going to compete to solve these equations, which is going to verify those transactions on the block. And whoever solves these equations first gets rewarded a Bitcoin. Okay? So what that means is, as you can see, this is their computing power. So it's computed by hash rate. So Hut 8 currently now, based upon their last quarterly report, is at 1.7 EH. In comparison, Marathon's at about 2.96. Okay, so they're about 1 point higher in EH, which means that's how much more powerful their computers are to be able to solve these mathematical equations. Okay, so now knowing that, the comparison in hash rates between the two, they're not that far off. Okay, so let's dig a little deeper. So HUD 8, you can see, is growing. Third consecutive record-breaking quarter. All right, so they're doing good. They're growing. Here, 1.7 EH. That's where I got that number. All right, these are things you have to do to maximize your success of pulling off good trades and investing in good companies. Okay, so or if you don't want to do all this work, you can always come to the Stock Wizard channel and I'll take care of it for you. All right, so they're doing good, they're growing. All right, let's take a look at their quarterly report and see how much money they're making. Because at the end of the day, Wall Street loves money. So you want to make sure whoever you're investing in, ideally how much money they're making, what their balance sheet looks like. Okay, so here we are. This is the stock price for HUT, $13.69. Now, as full disclosure, I've been aware of HUT since it was about $6. All right. I've owned it. I've sold it. I've owned it again. Currently, right now, I own it at $10, just for full disclosure. So I am currently invested in HUT because I do believe in the company, okay, and what they're doing. So here's their revenue. This is their quarterly statement. Ending June 2020, $9 million. September, 5 million. December, 13 million. March, 32 million. Ending June, 33 million. All right. So let's take a look at Marathon. Let's compare it to a company that does exactly what they do. HUD price 1369. Let's take a look at Mara. Mara's price is $54.80. Mara's also been on my radar since it was about $13, and I've had people enter Mara before as well around that price. I owned Mara $13 originally, then I had it at 20, then I sold it all at 39. So I no longer own Marathon, unfortunately, because I didn't know if I was a trader, an investor, because that comes with time. All right, so quarterly statement. Let's take a look. Comparison. January ending 51 million. September 2020 835,000. December 2020 2 million. 30 March 2021 9 million. June 2021 29 million. So that's their earnings. You can see sales revenue, how much money they make. All right. So now let's look at HUT. Last 2 quarters they're over 60 million. Mara's at 38 million. Difference in stock price is about 400%. So what that tells me is HUT's got some catching up to do. All right. It's only a question of when they might catch up, and two, how much of their price will catch up to Marathon. All right. Now, I don't think ultimately it will catch them because Marathon does have more miners, but we want to get in HUT as low as it is right now because at some point it's going to take off. Okay. So now we're going to check the chart so we can see an ideal price where we can enter into HUT so we can maximize on our profits. Okay. So this is the daily chart, in meaning that each one of these candles represents one day of trading action. So this day it went up, this day it went down. That day it went down, this day it went up. Okay. So we're looking for places where we can get in, maximize profits. I've had these lines drawn out for a while because I always need to back test to make sure my theories are correct so we can make sure that we win in together and we can only make sure that we're making that money. All right, so let's take a look. So on November 18th, it dropped to 1182. I had it marked at 1193. Also, the 50-day EMA at that point was 1179, 3 cents off. Okay, so sometimes this level here acts as a level of support. Okay, so sometimes when it hits that, as you can see, it bounces off. These lines are support from what I can see. 1193 looks like a strong level of support where that's ideally the best way to get in here as of right now. We're going to take a look at the 4-hour chart where we're basically zooming in on time. But let's go even farther. We're going to go into the 1-hour chart. RSI is at 47, right in the middle. All right, looks between two lines here. This also looks to be a line forming right there on the 200-day EMA. So another good price might be around 1307. But ideally, I would recommend definitely under 13. All right. Ideally, even better under 1250 or even the best under 12. But keep in mind also that this is directly correlated to the price of Bitcoin because they mine Bitcoin. So the price of when Bitcoin's higher, they earn more money for each Bitcoin that they mine. Remember, because they're a miner. All right. Bitcoin's at 59 right now. Looks to be recovering from a low of 55. So at the end of the day, everyone says Bitcoin's a good inflation hedge. So it could be, could not be, but that's time will tell. All right. But if you believe in Bitcoin, you believe in the future, you believe that price is going to go up ultimately, then you should definitely 100% believe in HUT because HUT will follow it. All right. So that's today's video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. If any comments or questions, please leave them below. As always, don't forget to click like and subscribe at the end of the day. Don't ever forget YouTube, health, happiness, and money. Let's all get it together. And I'll go ahead and I'll see you on the next episode. Salud.